Chapter 6, Breaking News. With just a half ring, Dr. Elder had the hotel phone to his ear. Hello? Yes, Bill, this is Tom Johnson. Oh, Tom, I thought you might be the discharge nurse. The hospital said that Andrew might be discharged tonight. I was just going over there. Well, that is really great news. How is Andrew's recovery going? Amazingly well. That last course of antibiotics finally turned the corner, and Andrew's spirit has lifted since he learned that his immune system is recovering so well. Such good news. Yeah, I finally feel like I can breathe again. Tom, I must admit that my faith was staggered by the prospect of losing Andrew. He came so close. I'm so sorry, Bill. I want you to know that Mary and I have been praying without ceasing during these last 2 weeks. And all of our friends from the faculty Bible study contacted me to get updates on Andrew's condition. A lot of people have been praying for you during this time. Bill paused to clear a lump in his throat. Tom, I can't thank you enough. I don't know what I'd do without friends like you and Mary. Bill, you were there for me, and I really needed you then. I will never forget. I love you, my brother. They both paused for a few moments. Tom began again with a changed tone. Bill, the other reason I called was to share some news with you. Oh yes, please do bring me up to date. I've been in a virtual news blackout with all that's been going on with Andrew. Well, Bill, there's some really good news, but I'll let you decide about the rest. Okay, I think I'm ready. Shoot. First, an observation. The impact of the release of your research, and especially of the press conference, has been felt all around the world. For example, within a week, the Council of Europe drafted a resolution on the, quote, future of science and technology, close quote, that argues for the economic benefits of collaborative scientific research within the European Union, but also within Southeast Asian nations and potentially communist China. But here's the rub. It seems that the prime focus of this resolution is not so much on scientific collaboration, which already exists, but on stamping out intelligent design in favor of evolution. Since the announcement, virtually all the nations mentioned have indicated positive interest in the recommendations offered, and the EU itself was poised to roll out a public relations campaign that they say, quote, sets the quality standards and direction for scientific research for the next 25 years, close quote. Well, Tom, I guess I'll have to take that as a negative. Got any more? Well, last week in a press release from Johns Hopkins, the McKusick Nations Institute of Genetic Medicine disavowed what they called, quote, metaphysical ruminations about the results of the collaborative research project. The statement also asserted they were not aware of the, quote, interpretive framework of Dr. Elder. Well, those statements are not entirely true. I actually did share what motivated my original plan for research with the director, Dr. Jack Abrams. At the time, he seemed more interested in the preliminary results of our research. It appears he's forgotten our discussion. Even so, I must admit that the reporters drew me out in ways that I had not planned for. Some could have taken my statements to suggest that McKusick Nations agreed with my views on intelligent design. I guess I was not as prepared for the press as I thought. Now, Tom, you said there was some good news. Yes, I believe there's some very good news, but you have to decide for yourself. Senator Paul Field, the chairman for the Senate Commerce Subcommittee, plans to convene a Senate hearing about funding priorities for the National Institutes for Health. His aide seems to think that the president's proposal for federal funding of embryonic stem cell research will leave little or nothing in the budget to investigate the merits of your research. He has asked for you to be available for testimony. I understand there is a formal letter in the mail. Oh no, not a science trial. Tom, if this research gets politicized, our accomplishments could be in jeopardy. Bill, I hear what you're saying, but Senator Field's reputation for objectivity is generally acknowledged on both sides of the aisle. It may be possible to get the word out through this open forum in a way that couldn't otherwise be achieved. Don't you think we should give it a try? I don't know. The prospect of senators shooting hostile questions at me or expert witnesses refuting me doesn't sound very promising. No matter what happens in the hearings, the press has proved that they can and will misuse my every word. I don't know that I have the time or interest for public relations. Bill, the senator's aide, explained that the director of the NIH intends to characterize your research as a distraction from the president's plan to fund stem cell research. Now, I have to agree there's some real risk with such a hearing, but what about the risk of a no-show? that might put it in still greater jeopardy. Well, I suppose you're right, but truth be known, I'd rather go back to the research lab and be left alone. I just don't think I'm well suited for this sort of thing. I know this is foreign territory for you, Bill, but it seemed to recall how many times you have told students science is not decided by authority or a popular vote, but only by evidence. In the end, it's the experimentally acquired evidence that guides the progress of science. Okay, Tom. I will think and pray about this opportunity, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Thanks for the update.